Hi everybody! Today I wanted to come on and show you some of the mods that I use when I am playing Baldur's Gate 3. I'm not going to go into all of them because as you can see I have quite a few, but I also have, this is all inside of Notion and I'm going to leave a link in the description for it so that you can head over and check it out. I have tons and tons of mods. I use a lot of them. And to be clear about something, I like playing Baldur's Gate 3 on easy mode. Like if you've seen me play on stream or any of my other videos, you will definitely see that I don't necessarily want to be challenged. I just don't want to be challenged. I'm here for the story. I'm here to have a good time. I'm here to have fun. I'm not here to be challenged. So a lot of these will have that as part of what it provides. Also, many of them are aesthetic mods. That's just kind of my preferences. So if that's something that you're looking for, stay tuned and I'll give you like my top few that I feel like are really the ones that I would suggest to someone if I was suggesting mods. Like I said, a lot of them are aesthetic. These kind of like always mods are ones that I consistently use. Things like carry extra weight, that kind of thing, I definitely have. But, you know, if that's not your vibe, very easy to drop. But there are a few that I do want to mention to people. So the first one, let me switch over here. Here we go. Hey, there we go. Okay. So the first one that I want to talk about is more reactive companions. So for me, this has been a really cool addition. So what it does is it basically takes all of the voice files that are only in the origin runs and adds them back to a tab or dirge game. And so that lets me get a bunch more cool stuff going in my game that I wouldn't have had otherwise. I think part of the most fun for me was going through the Nautiloid the first time with Lae'zel again and hearing all about her and all the thoughts she had about the Nautiloid and the Mind Flayers and all of that kind of thing, because she definitely has a unique perspective on it. But it does also have the downside, which is you do have significantly chattier companions. So for example, if you go back to my video where I'm going to get the Owlbear cub, Shadowheart and Lae'zel are both in my party and they're just sitting there sniping at each other from between like the first true soul that you meet to the Owlbear cave. They are just sniping at each other the whole time. So you do get more of that flavor of the characters and what they're kind of into. The other thing, let's see, is Vesnell's hair collection. So I love these hairstyles specifically. They're really natural. I think a lot of the hair mods that I've seen have like crazy, insane hair. That's not my vibe. I want like cool, but not over the top. One of the mods for origin characters I had, and I can't remember which one, and I'm struggling to make it work right now. I think after patch 8, there were some struggles with it. Allowed me to have these hairstyles on my origin characters, and that is the origin of like what we called I'll say F-boy Astarion. Which was and Buck and I have such a blast with this because these hairs, like I said, are great. Let me pull up the one specific. Here it is. Okay, it's hair 12, but we would give this is on Gale, which is odd. It's just as strange. But yeah, we would put this on Astarion pretty consistently. I think, is it this one? Yeah, this is the one I think Kat is using right now, is hair 14. So yeah, I use these really frequently in my games. So that's another one. Let me see here. If I remember correctly, this is another aesthetic mod and I like this one. There is another one that's in the mod manager, the native mod manager inside of Baldur's Gate 3. I personally prefer this one and you'll see why. This one has a lot of detail in the hair. It has beads. It has all of this really cool stuff. I think it makes Will's hair look really great. The one inside the mod manager is plain, a lot plainer, but it is inside the mod manager, so you don't have to deal with vortex and all of that kind of stuff to make it work. So I think if you don't mind Vortex, or if you're already messing with Vortex and you want something a little nicer for a will, I prefer Prince of the Gate over the one that's in the mod manager. Let's see what else I've got. So this is another one. So these are Astarion's earring collection. So I frequently take Astarion with me. I just really love his character, and so he's frequent with me, and I always dress him up as beautifully as possible, and these earrings definitely help. So this adds some different earrings. I really love these ones. They're kind of hard to see with the way that his hair is. This is a little bit better, but this like middle one here with the 2 rings and then the big piece that kind of fits inside the ear, I use that pretty frequently. I've also used this one with the dagger right next to it pretty frequently. They're just really great earrings, and I think it adds a lot to his style. Like, it's definitely not something you would necessarily wear, I don't think, but especially kind of where his story starts, but maybe by like Act 2 or Act 3 definitely has ascended. I think he would absolutely use these. Then I'm trying to think if there's anything else specifically on Nexus mods that I use frequently, but I think that's kind of it. I do have a few other things. This one I use for one thing and one thing alone. This is just another makeup and tattoo option. The downside is that it does replace your original ones, but you'll recognize something, which is like this face right here in the middle of the, let me see if I can find a better one. This is it. So these kind of like drawn on constellations I use in so many of my characters. So many of my characters have this, not even necessarily the ones that are on stream, but like these are definitely what I got it for. And I use it consistently. I really like it. Alrighty, so let's go over to the native mod manager here. Hey, if you're still here, like and subscribe. What are my must-haves? My absolute must-haves. All right. Details. There we go. So one of my absolute must-haves for me personally is Fade's stuff. So this is Graphic Fade. It has made this as well as some other distribution, and then a set of gear for every class that is currently in the game. I love these because it gives me fantastic looking armor with amazing skills, and I can just roll through the content basically. I love that for me. That is something I want. So like if you see me playing and there's a line off the screen and, you know, Astarion's picking locks with like +10 to +15, this is why. Is because he most likely has this equipment on. It gives him, like I said, there's ones for every single, let me see here. So yeah, he goes down into here. We've got Gift of the Absolute, which is the branded equipment. Monk, Cleric, Druid, Ranger, all the stuff in each one. And then it does look like that he's going to be trying to do an all-in-one pack, which would be great. The mod that... But I think really you could just like fade. There we go. Oh, there is an all-in-one. That's great. Because the other one is this equipment distribution, and this actually distributes the equipment that you have downloaded over the game. So as it says, it's like it doesn't contain any items. It simply replaces items from the mods into new locations throughout the game. Because each of the mods gives you like Act 1, 2, and 3 gear. So it would be pulling from those to distribute it as you're going through the game. I personally just use it for myself in the camp chest because it's like, okay, I'm going to put on and handle that myself, basically, because I just would rather have a bit more control over it. The all-in-one. And I'm wondering if this is something that I kind of want. I will figure it out later. But yeah, that could be cool. You know, like if there's an all-in-one, it says equipment mods in one place is combined. Equipment distribution, all class specific, excluding gifts of the absolute. Okay, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So that might be a better option for somebody who wants everything, which I generally do. Even if I'm not playing that class, I do use it for one other thing. So let's see, what else do I generally need and have with me? Okay. This is a must-have for me personally. You have probably seen this hair on Gale over and over and over again if you are in the general fan community. This is just Gale's wizardly updo. It gives him like a little man bun. It's very cute. I have it every single time. I have not seen Gale's original hair probably since my first game. I'm like, whose man is this? Like, who did this? There is a longer version. I personally don't like it as much. It's this one. It feels a bit too like Kenny Loggins, kind of like there's too much hair. I don't like it necessarily as much, but it is everybody has their own taste. I'm not going to judge. While you're there, if you are a Gale girly, gender neutral, there's also a fix for his beard that makes it a bit less patchy and actually looks good. You can kind of see it here. This looks significantly better than this does. It's a little thing. It's something that I add, not a huge deal. Let's see. So this is one of the ones. There's definitely some silly ones that I have here. Like Harry Gale, no abs. It gives him chest hair and no abs. Very simple. This I think adds new kiss, some of the ascended kisses in and a few other things. Not that big a deal. The heart heads I actually like quite a bit. This is another one of those things that I add consistently to, especially if I'm making smaller characters. The body type, like 1 or 2 type of characters, I feel like these are better for. And Cat was one of those, so I used the heart heads for that. There's several of those. This is actually one that I added recently that I was really impressed by, and that is the Inferna Victoria. We just met Raphael recently in my playthrough. It's based on this art here, and it is just so cool. It just looks great. He looks so good. I love Raphael. Like he's horrible, but I love him. And he's so over the top and so camp that I just feel like this is a requirement for him, for me in the future. Like I just found this and just added it, but I really do feel like it's a must-have for any future games that I play with him. Like they added so much detail, so many custom textures. It just looks so great that I was so impressed when I saw this. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I just added mod. I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. This is so cool. We got some other stuff going on here. Dice, obviously. This is a must-have for me. So it is, and it shows you right here on this image, and I think this might help quite a bit. Over-explained interaction options. If you've seen me play, you've definitely seen these. Basically, it gives you information about what each thing is going to do. I do use this quite frequently to find out if it's what I want to choose or not. So, it's things that let you go back and pick a different option, the romances for them, or companion approval or disapproval points, how much you're gonna have to hit, what your DC is gonna hit, dark urge only option, like that kind of stuff. The breaking the oath, checking the results, like all those types of things. I find for me, and maybe this is like my neurodivergence talking, I just feel more comfortable and confident doing that rather than guessing. Like I said, I'm not here to play this game in a difficult way. I want to enjoy my experience. And that definitely does help as Iowa Prime. Alrighty, we got a lot of stuff. Not all of these end up in every single one of my playthroughs, and right now they're very big. There's a big list of them. This is another one you've seen me use quite a bit, and that's show camp night notifications. Because I go back to camp so infrequently, I pretty much always have this on. It's always above my head. It just tells you that there's something that's going to happen the next time you go back to camp and take a long rest. That's it. Easy peasy, but it is one of those things that I just like to have information about, and it goes over my head. I love it. I love it. Another must-have for me, because I tend to make larger characters, because I'm personally quite tall and I prefer the larger characters, are the strong female heads. This is one of my absolute favorites. So obviously I didn't use it for Cat, but a lot of my characters use this head because she looks kind of like me. And so I have used that head rather frequently, right there. So just another one of those things that gives you new customization options. There is one last mod that I don't use on stream, but I may someday. And that mod is called Trials of Tav. And I use Trials of Tav Reloaded. Let's load this back up. Ooh, it's yelling at me. We're gonna go right back to here. Okay, so this is Trials of Tav Reloaded. And basically what it does is it makes Baldur's Gate 3 into a roguelike game, which is crazy. But I've played with Buck, I've played with my partner, I've played by myself. I just have a really good time with it, and it's really fun. And sometimes it's definitely one of those, I talk frequently about a second track type of a thing where you're talking to a friend, you're watching a video, you're listening to music, whatever you're doing, but you need a little something else. I feel like Trials of Tav is perfect for that. You get to just play a different type of game. There's not a story. You load into a map. Also, it's really fun because you see maps you might not have seen. I didn't know about a certain plane that's kind of like a jungle. I don't want to ruin it. It happens in Act 3. If you irritate a certain character inside of the circus, if you know, you know. I found out about that map through Trials of Tav sending us there. And I was like, wait a second, why are we here? What's going on? And Buck was there. He's like, oh yeah, if you do this, you can go there in the game. And of course, I immediately, my next playthrough went directly there. And I thought that was super cool. It's just a really fun addition, and that second track game that you can do. So I would definitely say if you're just burnt out or something and you want to try something different, or hell, if you just want to try something different with your friends to kind of introduce them to how Baldur's Gate 3 or D&D or whatever is played, this is a great way. I will warn you that it is kind of difficult to set up. It's a lot of mods you have to install yourself and a lot of other stuff. So prepare yourself, but it's definitely, I think, worth the time. So yeah, those are the mods that I would say check out. I'm going to leave a link in the description for you to check out the mods that I referenced and to the general mod list so that you can kind of see what I've used if you want to try it yourself. And again, like I said, it just makes it easier so that I can enjoy the story and have fun, especially on stream. It's really more about goofing around with our friends and talking about all of our favorite companions and what they're doing and all that kind of thing. So if you enjoyed this, please leave a like and a comment. If you have a mod you think I'd like, I definitely want to hear about it. So tell me in the comments below if you have a mod that you really enjoy. I'd love to hear about it. Especially, I've been really good about some of the aesthetic mods for my main group of companions that I usually take with me, but some of them I've been really bad about. So if you have some for, I don't know, maybe Karlach or Shadowheart or something like that, I would love to hear them. Or really anybody. If you're this mod is really super cool, please leave it. I'd love to hear about it, and I will check it out. So until next time, enjoy. And if you want to see me play Baldur's Gate 3, I do every Sunday around 7 p.m. Pacific time. Come on by. We have follower emotes on Twitch that are a little owl bear rolling a dice. So if you want to get in and help us roll some dice, we would love to have you. And I hope to see you there. And so until next time, bye. Bye-bye, friends. Say bye, guys. Gail, you got something to say? Karlach? Astarion? I know you have something to say. Nothing? Stay shiny. Bye. All right, Kit Kats, you know the drill. If you enjoyed this chaos, like the video, subscribe, and ring that bell so that you don't miss the next indie game adventure. Or rant. I do that a lot too. If you've got thoughts, please drop them in the comments. I read all of them while I'm trying to rest off whatever weird thing my body is doing at the moment. And hey, if you want a chill space to get stuff done, I stream co-working twice a week on Twitch and on YouTube, Tuesdays and Thursdays at around 2 in the afternoon, Los Angeles time. Links in the description. Remember, stay cozy, stay curious, and stay shiny. I'll see you next time.